365 days a year. Tomorrow there is no sports, so we're going to do our college basketball preview show in the morning. Probably going to just kind of go very quickly over most of the teams, most of the conferences. Going to try and keep the show around an hour. No reason to beat it into the air, but of course we will be doing. There's no sports tomorrow, so we'll be doing our college basketball preview show. But anyways, this is Mitch. We've got Ann and Brian, Rod, and Chris with us today. Just one game on the board, Monday Night Football. College basketball starts Wednesday, so I don't know if you guys have how many years you've been watching our shows or my shows, or when it used to just be me. But pretty much we try and cover as much as we can on college basketball. It's too big to cover everything, and we just do the best that we can with it. Even with my videos, with these other sports, I try and cover them gavel to gavel. With college basketball, I either have a choice. I could either cover more games with less bells and whistles on the videos, or I can cover more games. So we'll try it both ways, and we'll see which one works the best. We'll go by audience, whichever gets the most views, right? That's what's really going to matter, and the most subscribes and stuff like that. And generally, it's more games. So I'm just going to go stand in front of the Pick Dogs banner and with my regular camera, and it's not going to have all the all the other information that I know you guys really like up there. But do the best that I can. But college basketball is just a little different animal. It is definitely a lot to cover. There's not even any lines out yet. So I'm still digging through my information. Ann was supposed to send me a link for to get an online preview thing. But she never did, so I had to go out and find my own. But anyways, I will now bring in the gang and see what they have to say for themselves. Brian, morning. Ann, Chris, Rod, what's happening?
Morning.
Good morning.
Salutations.
What do you have for sale today, Brian? You're probably your best NFL weekend of the year yesterday.
Yeah, for sure.
I've been getting it handed to you pretty much all season, so a lot of Jets.
Oh, no.
Pretty much.
I think that was winning Sunday number 5 out of the last 6. So, not humongously winning Sundays, but a winning Sunday nonetheless. So I think things have been turning around.
A lot of Jets picks.
I haven't had the Jets in a couple weeks now.
Well, they covered yesterday. They covered both times, and you didn't take them.
Jets are dead to me.
They covered both times.
Things have been turning around with the NFL. I think by the end of the year, I'll be somewhere on the leaderboard. We'll see where it ends up. So all I can do is my best.
I'm going to guess I'll be there, too.
And college, I couldn't be any more excited for us to get into college basketball. I think me and Mitch and the guys are going to have a tremendous season. So.
Yep. I was number 1 in NBA. Wasn't even close.
So it pays to get in on those long-term college basketball passes.
If it was a fight, they would have stopped it.
You want me to get my sales pitch for tonight?
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hold things up. Get my NFL Monday Night Money shot as I go for 8 winning days in the last 9. One of the top 7 days, 30-day handicappers. Don't be afraid to jump on that 7-day pass or my college basketball season pass for $4.95. So, guys, jump in now. Big action coming soon.
Ann, what do you got?
I got a nice first half play tonight up on the website. Get on that. Win that first half, then come join Mitch and I for the second half and throw your winnings on the second half and win that as well.
Not one comment on my halftime picks yesterday.
Somebody did.
On them, not one in the Facebook group. So I guess nobody saw the show. But if you didn't,
in the Facebook group,
not even one. Not even one comment. Not even one. I even hit the first touchdown on the game.
You did.
I hit that game every way possible. Oh well.
And I think maybe some people in the group were kind of hurting. Their butts were hurting from yesterday, so they weren't commenting.
I gave out I had the Raiders for the game, and then I gave out Chiefs second half, so we middled that. It nailed it right
18, 11.
Nailed it right in the middle. We had the team total for the Chiefs second half was 18. They scored 21. The Raiders was 11 and a half. Went 14. We hit that. We hit everything.
And the under for the third quarter. I gave that out too. But I didn't hit the under for the second half. But I hit the under for the third quarter.
I had both overs. That would have put the total that I had for it was 29 and a half. So that put me right there with both team total overs. But I hit everything. I mean, I can't hit a game any better than I hit that game. I also gave out the over on the video pick. It's like and that one was, I think Brian and I might have been the only ones that had, and Romanelli. We were the only ones that had the Raiders last night, which was a layup. I mean, they beat the Chiefs already. I don't understand it. Because they drove a bus around the stadium, the Chiefs are going to beat them all of a sudden? That ain't going to happen.
Raiders are pretty talented teams.
It was just
super.
Do you think, Brian, how much do you think like the media, like people bought into the media like that? They drove a bus around the stadium. I got news for you. Willie Lanier used to take Daryl LaMonica and used to grab him by the face mask and sling him around like this and throw him across the field, back in the day. And, that was a 15-yard roughing the passer is what that was. Now it's like, you go to court. They'll call the police onto the field and have you arrested for the stuff they did back then. But it's like, yeah, I don't know if you guys know who Otis Taylor is, but he invented the touchdown dance, and he invented it. He was on the Chiefs, and he invented it against the Raiders. The touchdown dance was invented in that rivalry. That's how long that goes back. So driving a bus around the stadium, who cares? It's like, I tell you what, the Raiders didn't give a shit about it last night, man. They were.
I thought David Carr looked pretty good.
Oh, I thought obviously if the Raiders would have got the ball back, they would have won the game too. If the Mahomes, it was clear that the Chiefs knew that they needed a touchdown on that last drive, or that game was coming down to a coin flip because they were not going to be able to stop the Raiders from scoring a touchdown. That they knew that if they didn't score a touchdown on that drive, it was urgent. To score a touchdown on that drive. They were calling timeouts early in the drive to make sure, because they knew if they don't score a touchdown on that drive, this game is coming down to whoever wins the opening coin toss. And I'll tell you what, the Raiders defense, I think, did a little better job against the Chiefs than the Chiefs defense did against the Raiders last night, too. I think if you go for the number of punts, I'm going to guess the Chiefs punted more.
Well, we were on the right side of things, so.
Well, when I was watching that game, I was thinking, why the hell didn't I give the Raiders as my game of the year? I had the Colts, but the Raiders are a far better selection.
Well, the Magic 8 Ball said you were going to win your game of the year, and it was.
Now I'm done until January 1st, and then I'll have some more games.
Spot on. It was spot on. The Magic 8 Ball. Yeah, the Colts just another penalty on the Colts. They just threw another flag.
That was the most penalties I've seen in a sequence, probably.
It was the most penalties I've ever seen in a day. Like all day, every game. The guy in the Broncos-Dolphins game, he's a criminal. It's like, how could you even show your face, man? It's like, it was like every time they showed him, it's like, you are a criminal, You're basically like on the take. You are just like, you're no better than, than someone else who's being paid off to do something. You're a pawn. The ref in the Broncos-Dolphins game, I mean, this guy seriously got more airtime than I've seen guys win Best Supporting Actor being on screen less than that ref in the Broncos-Dolphins game. I mean, I've seen it, I mean, it's craziness, man. Craziness. It was like, I mean, what was longer, The amount of time that referee was on the screen, or like Alec Baldwin's like most memorable speech he ever gave in all of his movies, in Glenn Ross. It's that ref. He was on more than that. It was on more. I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, there was 15 penalties in the game that were accepted. right? You have to remember, accepted penalties are the ones that show up. There's all these not accepted penalties, and then then how many? I mean, also yesterday, I'm gonna guess also broke the record for multiple fouls, on the same play. It was like every play, multiple fouls, both on the same team, right? Because it was like, oh man, it was the Bucs day yesterday. I mean, I went 3-4. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I've had worse losing days than that, and I will in the future, But
the Broncos did what I predicted. They ran the ball and took it away from Locke's hands. I think that's what really
there was a
out.
penalty on every frickin' play of that game, and they were all on the Dolphins. It was ridiculous, man. The pass interference calls when they did throw it were ridiculous. It was ridiculous. How about the pass interference call on the Colts, like right before the half? I mean, ridiculous.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Ridiculous. How is that a 65-yard penalty?
Mm-hmm.
How is that?
But for the most part, the Colts penalties were legitimate at the end of the game where they were getting for holding.
In what world is that incidental contact 65 yards and a touchdown? I mean, in what world? It's a 20 to 30% chance he catches the ball if it's perfect. You give him the ball on the 3-yard line in a 7-point game with 14 seconds left to go in the half. I mean, we're paying to watch this shit. It's like, I mean, seriously, just tell us who won at the end. It's the same thing. It's already scripted, so you just tell us, man. Just grade the picks. Just grade the picks. This is what I picked. Just grade them. Save me the aggravation of watching these guys, because I'll tell you what, that ref in the Broncos-Dolphins game is just a real piece of shit. Chris, I'm not going to say it.
I'm waiting for the speaking of.
No, I'm not. Chris, what are you selling today?
I got my Monday night max out plays, 2 of my top max unit plays for tonight's Monday night game. I got the winning side and total, each up for $25 over at the website, or hop on one of those longer term 3-day, 7-day passes will get you into college basketball and starting the season off on the right note.
I bet on the Jaguars yesterday. Whoever bet on the Jaguars should not be allowed to bet on sports anymore. I'll tell you what. I'll sit here all fucking day and say I bet the Jaguars, and you know what? I could sit here and give out minus 600 winners all day long, all day. It's called Jesse Shuley. We'll just buy his picks and read them off, and act like we're freaking heroes, right? It's like these other guys, like Ben Burns. You ever see his baseball picks? Yankees minus 270. We could do this, man. If that's what you guys want. But that's not what I'm all about, man.
Steelers were the only public play that cashed.
At least I give out my picks before the game, and at least I have the balls to give them out, man. And it's like, I'll tell you what, those things like the Jaguars money line, fine, it didn't hit, and the Jets money line, it didn't hit. How many of those big money lines have I given out that have hit? More than enough to pay for one stinky Jaguars pick. The Jets covered. They covered.
They were right there to almost.
They almost won. I know. The Jets covered.
I know.
The Jaguars turned it over too much. The quarterback threw too many interceptions.
Yeah.
Luda was looting, all right, for the wrong side.
This guy's an idiot, man. This guy's an idiot. He thinks that there's never been a 0-10 team that beat a team like that in a game like that. And I can name one where there was a bigger point spread, and I did have the dog in that game, and I actually laid 14 points with the dog in that game as well, and it was one of the biggest cashes I ever had in my entire life. And it was the year that the Bears went to the Super Bowl with Lovie Smith. You guys can look this up. What year was that they played the Colts, Chris?
Was it 06?
I believe it was 06. It could have been 05. It might have been 06. The 06 season, okay? The Dolphins played the Bears at Soldier Field, okay? The Dolphins were winless that year. The Bears were undefeated, and the Dolphins housed them. They housed them. The line was 14.5. The Dolphins housed them. It happens. That's why they play the games.
November 5th, 2006.
I remember it like it was yesterday. If it was a fight, they would have stopped it. What was the final score of that piece of shit, Chris?
31-13.
31-13 Miami, right? Going away. Yeah. I laid 14.5. That they were 14.5 point dogs. It paid like plus 950. So what was the Bears' final record that season? What was their record going into that? So November is about the same time as this, right? So about a week earlier than this. So it was probably week 9. So the Bears were probably 8 or 9-0, right?
After that game, they were 7-1.
7-1. What was Miami?
2-6.
2-6. There it is. See?
Look at you, Chris.
Yeah. Well, he's got all the stats there, right? Does it have the line there for the game?
Give me a second. I'll find it.
Was that the year they blew the Super Bowl too?
Oh, no. It's very possible to lay 14 points with a 14-point dog. It's called Pinnacle. Pinnacle, you absolutely can. It's impossible. You know nothing, okay? You're just an idiot. Okay, you're just some guy who comes by with YouTube comments who thinks you know everything the day after the game. Nope, they allowed minus 14.5. They did. Pinnacle does. Go look at Pinnacle and see the way you can bet games. I loved Pinnacle. I'll sit here and we can talk about some other online sports books and whatever, but Pinnacle you can't use in the U.S., but you certainly could. Yeah, well, I'm not talking about DraftKings. I'm talking about Pinnacle, which was the best of the online sports books in the history of online sports books. When they shut us out of Pinnacle and had to mail me that check, they're like, "Oh, we're going to mail you a check." I was like, "I want it. I want my penny." Everyone called it Penny. It was like it was our friend. It had the best, like those weird lines and all kinds of stuff. I've never found a book that had the weird lines like Pinnacle did ever again. I mean, there's been some that have it. I found some other online books that have some sort of stuff like that. Most of them don't have anything close. The U.S. books don't have anything close to that, The Penny was the bomb, man.
So the Bears that season were 13-3.
They went to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl.
And they blew it.
And Miami drafted first, right? They had the number 1 draft pick?
I think so.
Yeah, Miami drafted first.
A lot.
It was the only game that they really did anything. This is what happened. Here's the true story. Okay, here's the backstory on this one and why I bet so much on the Dolphins. I'm from Miami. I rarely go to Bears games when I lived in Chicago. Rarely. I went to one, but I wanted to go to that game. And the Dolphins were winless, right? At that point, they had one win. It was like 14-point game, whatever. I tried to get tickets to the game, and they tried. This was the price that the lowest I could find for an upper deck ticket was $850. I'm like, I am not paying that to sit at Soldier Field in the middle of November to watch my team, against the Bears. But the kicker is I'm a Dolphin season ticket holder, and I'm a season ticket holder since day one, and they do a weighted lottery on Super Bowl tickets. Super Bowl was in Miami that year, and I sold my tickets to Bear fans. And it wasn't cheap. It's like, how could you charge me $10,000 a ticket? It's what they are.
13.5 was the line for that game.
13.5. And Miami outrighted them by how much? 18?
18.
Yeah. See? There it is. See? I've been around the block a couple times. Not ashamed to admit it. And how about this one, Chris? Same year or the following year, West Virginia against Pitt. Okay, West Virginia against Pitt, I believe 2007. Okay, Pitt was a 34.5, or West Virginia was a 34.5 point favorite.
The backyard brawl.
The backyard brawl. They were a 34.5 point favorite. The money line was plus 3,700. I hit that one.
The final closing line was 28.5.
28.5, but it was as high as in the 30s, right?
Yeah, but it was as high as 34.
Right, it was as high as 34, and that's where I got it. And I bet it money line. And what was the final score of that one?
I just had it. 13-9 for Pitt.
Okay, this guy's going to have to go, man. This guy's just, you know what?
Time to go.
It's it. Time for you to go. Yep. Time for you to go. What a dick. Rod, what do you got for sale?
For me today, I've got Monday Night Football Book Smasher. Love this play. Play on the side. Kickstart the week a winner. Available at the website.
All I'm saying is, and I'll say this till I'm blue in the face, you cannot make money in betting sports betting minus 600 favorites, minus 400 favorites, minus 200 favorites. You can't make money betting them in parlays. You can't make money betting teasers. You can't make money any of those ways. The only way to make money betting sports is to bet money line dogs. That is the only way. You have to mix those in. You have to take your shots. Those were both reasonable shots yesterday. I lost. I didn't even lose as bad as people that bet on the Chiefs yesterday on those. Right? Because the Chiefs, you had to pay the juice. I didn't have to pay the juice. I bet on the money line. Right? So, believe me, I lost on the Ravens too. I lost worse on the Ravens than I did on that. Right? Speaking of Ravens, Brian, what do you think's going to happen tonight in Tampa?
Well, I was going to give it out in the live show, but since I got turned down for that, I can give it out right here.
Our show's better than that crappy show.
Well, I like you and I like Tony T, but
I don't like Tony T. Let's turn it into like a personal battle. Let's throw Ruffalo off. We'll just ridicule him the whole show. Every time he goes to talk, we'll find a different sound effect. We'll go off the board, even.
It sounds like my music that I dance to.
Hey,
I'm gonna need an entrance.
When I need my team to win.
If I keep kicking ass like this, I'm gonna need my own entrance. But
but the thing is, like I pulled that bear that dolphin in the West Virginia stories like right out off the top of my head. I got thousands of winners like that. Thousands and thousands.
Lehigh University over Duke a few years ago on the money line.
I had Evansville against Duke getting 36.5 points.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, they lost by like 80. Then last year I took Kentucky against Evansville. Evansville beat them outright. And I just should not be betting Evansville games.
Purple Flames, is that the name? The Purple
Aces.
Purple Aces.
I did get a really good college basketball preview book though. I got it last night. I had to download it. I have to get the virtual edition here in Hawaii. I can't get any college basketball previews, but I'm locked and loaded now for college basketball. And I think on the college basketball videos, the way that I used to do them in the past, and I never really showed you guys this, but when I stand in front of the banner with my other camera with the remote and do the videos that way, I have my TV and I turn it the other way, and I have Apple TV, and I have like all the stats and everything are all on the board, and that's why I'm able to read them. It sounds like I know them off the top of my head, but I'm actually reading them. But with this stuff, with the first few games of the season, this stuff is so hard, man. It's so hard, right? Chris, writing up games for the first game of the season. You don't even have last game stats to go to, and it's like, then you have these freshmen that coming in. Like, was it last year? We knew Baylor was stacked 2 years ago too, right? It's like, we knew Baylor was stacked, right? And that was going to be our team. We were going to ride the whole frickin' season until people started catching on to them. And it was like, they're just going to blow everybody out by like 100 points. It's like, and it's Baylor, so they're not going to, they're going to be somewhat under the radar. But it's like, it's rare to find one like that, where you just like, it was like, you start looking at Baylor and you start researching it, and it was like, wait a minute. How in the hell they can only put 5 guys on the court? It's like, you got 9 NBA players on this roster. It's like, it was crazy, man. Anyways, man. Brian, what'd you give out?
Oh, I'm about to give out the under in tonight's Tampa Bay Rams game. I think the defense for both these two teams are flying under the radar. They both have top-ranked defenses. In 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams in Tampa, it's gone under the number, and there's various other trends that lead me to go under. So for me, it's not a game I'm rushing to bet, but I'm leaning towards the under here. And I also like Antonio Brown to score the first touchdown, plus 800.
I did create the drive-through, but I'm rather trash talk if I have a chance. Everyone knows I'm a name caller. That's what I do. I'm a name caller. So it excuses everybody else's, stealing, lying, cheating, everything else that they do is all excused because I'm a name caller, right? We know that. It's well documented.
And old and crappy.
And sealed court cases across the world. Anyways, Ann, what do you got to say? What are we gonna call? What are we gonna call Ann? And Ann was supposed to send me a link for the college basketball preview. It's too late. I already got one. It's like I waited and I waited
You did?
and I
I'm so
waited.
sorry.
I said, my wife's like, "What are you looking for?" I said, "Ann's supposed to send me a link for college basketball." She's like, "Well, why don't you
Good
text her?" I'm
job.
like, "If she's not gonna send it, I don't want it."
I'm so sorry.
And then she's like, "Don't call her any names."
I'm not sending you NBA though, because I need to kick your butt in that.
She's like, you're a name caller. Everybody knows that.
I'm so sorry.
Don't
Okay,
start with your names.
I have some other stuff I'll send you.
I don't want.
I'm subscribed to this thing. I usually
believe
take
me.
a class.
Believe me, I do fine in college basketball. Fine.
I know.
We have actually
I
our
used to
college
watch
our
you
college
years ago
basketball
for college,
our college
so I know how
basketball
you do.
is some of the most watched. I mean, these are our college basketball stuff that I've done in the past, and then the stuff we did last year with Chris and Rod and myself. I mean, when things went down, when things got shut down last year, I think Rod had hit like 10 of 11 three-team parlays in a row in college basketball. Something like ridiculous, right? It was like people wanted to send him bird cages like in the mail, remember? We were on such a heater going into, like we had passed through New Year's, so like all the choppy stuff was out of the way, and it was like, because right now, this is, between now and New Year's in college basketball, is very, very tough sledding. For me, it's like I get past New Year's, and you get into that conference play, and it's like, that's where I take names, right? Everyone knows, like, the first part of the season, the whole idea is you kind of tread water. You hope to get a little bit ahead. And then you get into conference play, and it's like, that's when I take names. And, of course, in the tournaments, and that's where I've traditionally been able to do it, But in the beginning of the season, I just say, if you don't know what to do and you don't feel like buying one of our packages, just play every single underdog. It's usually a pretty good strategy in college basketball. Just take every single dog, except for Baylor.
The Bucs doesn't know where to put the line.
No, they don't know where to put the line either, and the public is like all over the big names: Michigan State, Villanova. It's like
They're like minus 35.
I love college basketball.
Their line's too high.
Yeah, they're really high.
Oh, college basketball.
Dog out of there, though.
College basketball has got me thrown out of more sports books than any other sport, than all the other sports combined. Because if you bet second halves of the small games, it's like they don't want your business. Because
You're taking like
you're a professional.
Messiah.
All right, we got the creepy comment of the day. Robot Chicken Wings wants to know, where do they send a ring to Ann? Ann's already married. She's already spoken
Y'all are
for
gonna
her.
make me turn red.
You're too late you're late to the party.
It's too late. I met somebody on this site a couple weeks ago, and we're married now.
I always go to sports handicapping shows to pick up chicks. That's what I do. My wife knows that.
If it's an onion ring, I'll take it.
Onion ring. You can send the onion rings to Chris.
Yeah, I'll take it.
And what do you think of this Monday Night
There you
Football
go.
matchup?
So let's do. I'm gonna go agree with Brian tonight on this under here, and I'll do my first touchdown. I'll do Tyler Higbee. I'm not really great with these, but why not? You know what I like to do though? I I always do $5 or $10 on any defensive player to score the first touchdown, and I actually did very well yesterday with that, especially for that Eagles game. So it's something I've always done. So throw $5 down on any defensive player to score a touchdown. It's like pays like at least over 3,000.
I haven't gotten deep enough into my college basketball. Like today and tomorrow, I'm going to spend the bulk of the day. And today I'll be going through all the information, and then tomorrow I'll be doing videos. And then as I do all those videos is when I really get familiar with the teams, too. I think I'm going to do some write-ups also at Pick Dogs. In Sports Chat, we have it covered really well, but Pick Dogs, I think we need some help. So I think I'm going to do a few. It helps me. Yeah, I mean, you know, I say the same thing. It's like betting is all about value. It's risk reward. It's not about winning every game because that's not possible. It's creating the biggest payoff of the games that you win. That's really all it is. And it's like if you don't take those shots where they're there, you know. I mean, I don't know anyone that did it, but I'm sure somebody had the Titans money line yesterday, and that was probably and that to me was a super sharp play. It was like, you know, it's like if you had the Titans money line, I got sucked in on the Ravens. I that's one. Like I made 2 plays yesterday. Like the Dolphins, you know, whatever, you know, that ref, whatever, and you know, anyway, slice it. I lost the game. I'm not gonna make any excuses, but it was far from my worst pick. You know, my worst pick was the Ravens. And my second worst pick was the Patriots.
The Titans-Ravens was about 50%.
Mine was the Ravens.
The Ravens was the worst pick I made. Just I don't care what the money was or whatever. It was just when you see the teams on the field and you say, this is the same shit I saw last year. You know, when Derrick Henry runs in the winning touchdown from 30 yards out or something, it's like this is the same shit that we just saw, you know, a few months ago. Nothing has changed. And Lamar Jackson, like I said, he has regressed. He has regressed. And, you know, whatever our guy was, the actor, right? Brian's been wearing the Chargers hat for a long time. He wears it every day.
I like this Chargers hat. I got it from Rod, but I like it personally. I like the color. I like the lightning bolt. I just like it. I'm not a Chargers fan, but
it makes your ass look
Chargers
big.
can, you know what, right off out of here.
Kind of makes your ass look big. Chris?
Makes my wallet bigger.
Some days. We could, I don't know. Let's just call each other names for a little while. See who wins that battle.
I know we're not going to win that one against Mitch.
I am a name caller.
The premier name caller.
Speaking of shit for brains, Ruflo, what do you got?
It's like you've known me my whole life. I like the first half under here at 23.5. I just think this is it's a lower scoring game out of the gates, and you got 2 solid offenses. But I could see this one going 13-10 into the half, and so I like the first half under. My first touchdown score, I'm going to go with Rob Gronkowski, plus 1,300.
Ooh, I like that.
I had the first touchdown last night. I hit 2 in a row now. I'm on a heater. The first touchdowns. Rod, what do you like?
For me, I'm going to go. I'm going to take the Rams money line first half, and I'm going to go Cooper Kupp first touchdown.
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp. I like that too.
Cooper Kupp first
That's just
touchdown.
everybody's
Rams
score.
money line first half.
I don't know, man.
I look at the numbers, and the Bucs the last 3 games are only averaging 7.7 points in the first half. Their last 3 games.
I love the over in this game. The last time out, the Bucs scored 46. They gave up 23 against that high-powered Panthers offense, and then they lost 38-3. 38 points they allowed to Drew Brees and company. Of course, that was at home at night, like this one is. Then they had that war with that. When you're up against the Giants, you know you're going to give up a lot of points. They gave up 23 against the Giants, and 20 against David Carr and the Raiders, 20 against Nick Foles and company, Soldier. Then they gave up 31 against the Chargers. This is a team, I mean, for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, there's been at least one team in their games that they've been involved in that put up gigantic, numbers that put you more than half this number. This number is 10 points too low. I love the over here.
Last year's score was 55-40.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And as we saw yesterday, history has a way of repeating itself. We saw it in a lot of games yesterday. It's like there wasn't the revenge.
Both teams are off the charts. I see it. Total yards, passing yards given up, rushing yards given up. I'll see it.
How many rushing yards were in last year's game?
That's last year. That's a totally
116. So they're not
total.
Running the ball. They're going to be hucking the ball. Is what's going to be happening here. All passing, because that defense is going to be the front six on both defenses.
I'll take Mike Evans for the first touchdown. Mike Evans. I said Evans.
I think Tom Brady's a man crush on Antonio Brown. I just think that he wants to make him out to be. He wants to make him look good. That's why I like him for the first.
Didn't he already play 2 games this season? Isn't that his quota? Boy, Le'Veon Bell looked pretty impressive last night.
He had a touchdown.
Wanted $30 million a season to play for the Steelers. $30 million. It's $2 million a game. A little less than $2 million a game. He deserves the $2 million a game, though. And they offered him like close to that, and he said no.
That's chump change.
But he still made a ton off the Jets. That was a big.
He needs to feed his family.
He signed for less money with the Jets than with the Steelers.
I thought he got a big signing bonus.
No, he was offered less. He wanted guaranteed money.
You don't give guaranteed money to running backs.
Well, you're not Le'Veon Bell. Check his stats. 2 overrated. Their defense wins games. Just to let you all know. So you got 4 misspellings in one sentence there. That's craziness, man. It's because he's got the wrong there, and then he's got no. He spelled
it's like
no.
me when I talk to Brian.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Mike G. Seton Hall. Another incorrect spelling. Just not. It's Monday. I thought the Falcons' money line was the short play. I'll tell you, how about some Taysom Hill, baby? He was not just running. He was throwing, too, like a madman. I'm telling you, Michael Thomas dropped one that hit him right in the hands. I mean,
yeah.
Taysom Hill was on fire.
They're good.
He was on fire, man. Love me some Taysom Hill. Did you notice how he stopped and did 700 push-ups on the sidelines in between? One-handed.
One-handed, one finger.
It was like they had those big tubs of Gatorade, that a cart. He's like, "Don't worry, I got this." He just lifted the whole cart up, Just handed people the big coolers of Gatorade. Guy ran 2 marathons before the game. It's crazy. Did an Ironman before the game. Guy's amazing. Trevor likes Crystal Palace on the money line today. All right. Well, we don't have a lot to talk about.
How about those lines for the NFL games on Monday? I thought the Lion, yeah.
A Thursday?
Washington, Thanksgiving. The Washington team getting points against Dallas looks like value early.
Dallas is coming off of a win. They had to beat the Vikings yesterday. Hey, how about hearing the quarterbacks last night? Did you catch the James Harden call there? Derek Carr?
No.
Derek Carr?
Oh, with the
on the snap count. You know,
yeah.
James Harden. James Harden.
What they were saying too, they're like, Mom and George.
It was like James Harden. It's like I was listening with sound, like one of those rare times. And it's like I hear it, James Harden. I hadn't heard that since Jared Goff yelled Halle Berry. It's like Halle Berry. And then Halle Berry tweeted out to him, "Hey, what the hell is this Halle Berry thing, Jared Goff?" She tweeted it out. She's like, "Hey, Jared Goff, what the hell is this Halle Berry play?"
I'm sitting there. I'm like, are they going to go as far as Yin Kadare?
It was like James Harden.
Mom and George.
Do you think that like just stands for something like JH? Like there's a JH, you know, something that's
Or maybe the number on the wide receiver road or something.
Yeah.
You have to ask. We'll have to find someone that knows. Where's Jeter? He usually knows this stuff. Jeter will be like, I get the parquet and the Pop-Tart. I got to shop early Thanksgiving week. There's always a run on this stuff.
Oh.
All right. Well, I guess that's our show. I'm trying to drag it out. Trying to squeeze something out of these guys, but Bitler's just falling asleep. He's just Bitler's like I don't have my son this week. I'm drinking a lot of scotch.
Tomorrow I'm really gonna be sleeping because there's nothing for me to do.
Yeah, tomorrow's our college basketball preview show. It'll just be quick hitters, but we're not going to go over everybody and everything. We're just going to do the best that we can with overviews of conferences and teams. See if we can find some low-lying value. Because we know that the rankings are always off. You got to remember, Georgia was ranked in the top 5 to start the season in college football, right? And who else? There was someone that's like horrible. That was ranked. Oh, Penn State was ranked in the top 10. They were number 9 to start the season. Even after everyone had played, they were still ranked in the top 10.
Terrible.
Yeah, I know. Can't believe Ruffalo voted for them.
Why?
You think the Football Writers Association of America will let me back in? They threw me out.
No.
They did.
They got your picture up there.
They do. They threw me out.
Not after some of the names I heard as you were leaving.
I put Edgerrin James up on the preseason Heisman list. They red flagged me. It's like he's probably gonna win the whole damn thing. It's like
that's amazing.
It was like I had Edge up there, and they're like, "What? You're out of here." I'm like, does this mean I don't get a vote for the All-American team? It's exactly what this means. How about the Outland? Not going to happen this year for you. It's like, the thing is, I'm still friends with all those guys on Facebook and LinkedIn. They threw me and Mark were both in, Chris, in the Football Writers Association of America.
Were you?
Yeah, me and Mark were both part of the Football Writers Association. We got All-American team votes, Outland Trophy votes. We had like all kinds of.
Did he put in like the Winthrop quarterback for the?
I'm telling you, I put Edgerrin James in as a preseason All-American, and they threw me out. They red flagged me and threw me out.
That's amazing.
Meanwhile, he got drafted ahead of the Heisman winner in the NFL draft.
Oh man!
Right? He got drafted ahead of Ricky Williams. Is he in the Hall of Fame, Edgerrin? I mean, he should be, right?
That's hilarious.
A hell of a career.
Smash that like button. That was amazing.
They threw me out. Threw my ass out. They're like,
he's in the Hall of Fame.
yeah, it's like rumor has it. And Ricky Williams isn't in, right? Because that's who they all voted for. Unanimous. Except for one. It's like, who in the hell didn't vote for Ricky Williams? You're out of here. It's like, Mitch, we're refunding your dues. They refunded my dues. They did.
Don't come back here.
They refunded my dues, and they're like, "You're so." I'm like, "Does that mean does that mean I can't?" You're so out of here. It's like, I was like so proud. I was like, I'm in the football right. I told all my friends, like, yeah, I'm in the FWAA, Football Writers Association of America. Man, it's like, wow, you get to vote for the All-American team? Yeah, in the Outland. It's like, well, who'd you vote for the Outland? Well, it's a long story. Oh, man. I've been thrown out.
North Carolina could take out Notre Dame on Friday.
I'm probably like the only guy that's been fired from his own company, like, you know, thrown out of the Football Writers Association of America. Like, I have a long list of places I'm not allowed, and things I'm not allowed to legally say. Oh, well. I love all you guys. Thanks for joining us. We got college basketball preview tomorrow. Sorry we don't have anything to talk about, but I took the over. Brian's got the under. Rod's got the first half under. Chris, what'd you take?
The first half under.
First half. Rams money line first half.
Rod took the Rams.
Money line.
Ram it down your throat, bitches. Rod's got the Rams. Ann, what'd you take?
Under.
Brian, did you give out your first score? You're going to do that in the drive-thru.
Antonio Brown.
Oh, Antonio Brown. I got Mike Evans. Brady
defensive player.
Brady likes him. Brady likes him. You know why? He doesn't drop passes.
Brady likes Brown. And Gronkowski. He's a man crush on Gronkowski.
Yeah, that's why I got Gronk.
You're foolish and lack vision. Anyways, this is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. Got all these guys with us. Rod, Chris, Ann, Brian. You guys going to be ready for college basketball tomorrow? Or are we going to have a lot of dead airspace? You could let us know.
My season pass is ready for everybody.
Mine is 2.
I'm not having one. You can just buy my monthly, yearly, whatever. You'll get all my college basketball. Buy my yearly pass. That's the best deal.
That's true. That is the best deal out there.
The best deal's
I rated that's $3.54 a day at $1,300. So.
Yeah, that's what mine is. I think it's even. Is that what mine is too? $1,300. Yeah.
$3.54 a day, something like that.
So how much? That's like less than $1 a pick. It's like if it's Chris, it's like a nickel a pick. But for me, it's probably like 50.
Okay, 8 cents.
The over-under for Chris bets on Saturday. I'm saying the over-under's around 20.
Fiddler, you shut up. No comment, peanut gallery.
I do have stories for days, man. I have lived a full life. We never even talked about that tour, you know. The time I sold duct tape at Red Rocks, I had no money, we had no gas, we had nothing. It's like, what do we got to sell, man? Either the clothes off our back, which we sold, and then duct tape. It's like, we got duct tape. It's like, people just felt so bad. They were just like, it's raining. It's like, are you guys begging for money? No, we're selling duct tape. How many inches would you like? Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Have a great day. We'll try and act more professional tomorrow for our college basketball preview show. Maybe I'll wear a suit.